Good evening, everybody. Down syndrome, week 7 press conference here. Loss, not a good week. About time we come back down to earth with the performance we've been putting over the last couple of weeks. But it's all right, we'll move on to next week. Let's go over the team here. Trevor Lawrence, 15. Second straight win for the Jaguars. Another average performance. Threw the ball 15 times, under 200 yards, a 1 touchdown, 13 rushing yards. It's just not a fantasy contributor. Geno Smith, 17.8. 2 touchdowns, thankfully one to DK, unluckily one to Kenneth Walker, who's Ryan's person. So that was a big blow to me, but he puts up the numbers to keep himself in the lineup. Hopefully he keeps producing without DK. Brian Robinson Jr. coming off the injury last week, questionable all week. Got in the end zone again, which is nice, and it was a blowout, so they could kind of work him back in with a couple of non-stress touches. Derrick Henry, 25. I mean, he's the MVP of the NFL right now, in my opinion, and probably fantasy. He's the #1 running back. Just need him to keep up the workload, keep up the dominance, because it's going to probably keep me up where I want to be. Josh Downs, back-to-back mismanagement weeks from me. Got to have AR-15 prove himself as a thrower before I put him back in, so I'm kind of hoping for Joey Flacco up there in Indy right now. Lab McConkey, 7. Game where he's the lead receiver. He's going to probably continue to be the lead receiver. Herbert threw for 350 and he only got 7 points. Still needed to find the end zone, which I could really use. DK had 18, 4 catches, 7 targets, 99 yards, and a touchdown. Sprained his MCL. They play this week, they play next week, and then they have a bye. So if he misses this week, they'll probably sit him next week and wait till after the bye. So I could basically an IR DK Metcalf. George Kittle, 12 points. Stays top of the tight end charts. Didn't find the end zone, but Brock Purdy was playing like a middle schooler. Debo, who knows how long he's out. Ayuk's out for the year. CMC's supposed to be coming back, but we'll see how long that lasts. So he'll stay a big part of the offense. Wandale, 5 points. Problem with Wandale is he doesn't run a route past 5 yards and catch the ball. It's just not possible for him. So he's a touchdown merchant to stay fantasy relevant. So hopefully can find the end zone. Colts D had a couple sacks. I think 1 turnover against 2 turnovers, 2 fumble recoveries against the Dolphins, but I tinkered them with the Commanders D, who I think scored like 28 points, so that's pain. Butker, not great, 4 points, but Chiefs win. AJ Cole's been kind of disappointing the last 2 weeks, too, so not great. The bench, Calvin Ridley, 5.7, still asked with Mason Rudolph, but obviously Hopkins now to the Chiefs. So he may get 250 targets and only catch about 6 of them. So we'll see how that goes. Chiefs D had 3 picks, but only 9 points. Gave up a lot of yards. Madison looks like he's going to be the lead back for the Raiders now, so that's a plus. Bo Nix, decent performance. Got a lot of rushing yards, but got to find the end zone. Judy, I dropped him again. I just don't see a lot of promise in him. With Winston starting, maybe he has a little bit more promises, but it sounds like they're going to go back to Dorian Thompson. Robinson when he's back, Jesus Christ. Pacheco and Goddard were hurt. Goddard's already dropped. CD was on bye. For Ryan's team, Mahomes, he still wasn't lighting it up fantasy-wise, but he got the rushing touchdown. Ryan, his team would be on another level of fantasy if Mahomes can turn to fantasy relevance. Herbert, of course, had his best numbers week when he wasn't on my team. 3 for 350, but needed a touchdown to get to 20 points. Bijan has a great performance. 20 carries, 100 yards. Made an impact on the air on the ground, so Ryan needs this to continue. Kenneth Walker got the receiving touchdown, battled a sickness, came back. Probably going to even be more useful with DK being out now without the deep threat. Marvin Harrison Jr. came back from a concussion, but he's a rookie, so he's always going to be boom or bust. But with Marvin Harrison Jr., it's probably one that you want to keep your faith in. Deontay Johnson, his first bad week kind of in a couple weeks, 2 points in a blowout. He's still a big trade candidate. He's not going to go to the Chiefs, but he could go somewhere else. But I could also see the Panthers keeping him and building around him next year in the draft. Garrett Wilson, average performance to his standards, but still double digits. Going to be interesting to see how him and Adams work together for the rest of the year. Schultz had a really bad performance, but Packers D are tough. Under 100 passing yards for Stroud, so anybody for the Texans was going to have a low day. Higgins had the big play touchdowns. He's still a possible trade target too, because he's going to be a free agent, but if he stays or moves, I think he's going to be in a good spot. Reichard and Townsend both boom balls. They were killing me. Ramsey had 2 sacks, 4 turnovers, and a touchdown. Unbelievable performance. Pickens could be a problem with Russ, and his Ryan's backup running backs put up backup numbers this week. So around fantasy, Nick Lowe won the big battle 5-1 squads. Lamar and Gibbs had 30+. AJ Brown, Mark Andrews look back to being their good. So now outside of those 4 to 5 players, Nick only had like 30 points from the rest of his team, and he picked up like 3 injuries. So could use his team getting healthy and consistency. Maybe for some other players, he's going to be in a really good spot. Jesse Falls, still a good week though. Goff is playing at an unreal rate. Kyron's just a lead back monster. Amon-Ra staying at a good level. London's taking the next step, so Jesse's going to be happy with where he is, especially if Kelsey starts to pick it up. Owen got a big win this week. You get the big donks were big for him. 27 points from the defense, 24 from Javonte. Jacobs had a good week, but he is a good running back room, so that's what he's going to look to build on. Parker is the New Orleans Saints of the NFL. Won his first 2 weeks, looked really good, 5 straight losses. May and Hurts has turned out to be a pretty good 1-2 quarterback duo. Hall and Jones are still top 10, but he's the receiving corner, his tight ends to pick up the slack. Jackson got a big win, kept him in the playoff race. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray did their thing. Tank and his defense made pretty good weeks. I think he traded Dank for Rashad White with Owens, so that'll be interesting. Mikey had a below average performance. He kind of got screwed in the morning. Jackson's team went off. But everyone but Saquon in his revenge match did well. Didn't do well. Saquon did well. Nobody else did. So he needs his quarterback room to pick it up, especially with Russ maybe showing some promise. So he needs Kamara to come back too. Alex got a big matchup, big win and a big matchup. Keep him back into the thick of things. Kareem has been a massive addition for him. Good quality performances, a lot of double-digit performances. So Alex looks to build on this. Harrison lost Mike Evans. Baker lost his top 2 targets, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to look to be a beast still. Njoku's a top dog in Cleveland, especially with Jameis now. He's got CMC, Tua, and Nico all coming back from IR, so Harrison's in a good spot too. So our standings are Nick Lowe at 6-1, Jesse and Garvey at 5-2, Ryan's 4-3, Harrison, Alex, and Mikey are 3-4, Owen, Jackson, and Parker are 2-5. My power rankings, I got Nick Lowe, Jesse, Garvey, Ryan, Alex, Mikey, Harrison, Owen, Jackson, Parker. And for our Week 8 matchups, I got Owen 139 to Garvey's 156. I got Jesse 163 to Harrison 140. Alex 147 to Jackson 134. Nick Lowe 158 to Ryan 142. And Parker 130 to Mikey 135. Congrats to everybody that won. Sorry to everybody that lost. Go Chiefs.